Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Sarah Bernard, and my guest is Nick Apperson of Better Billion St. Louis. We've been talking about how you started with a core group of 15 or so people, and now a little bit more than a year later, you're really spurred into action. And you guys had a contest recently for St. Louis City residents to come up with ideas for our city. So tell us about that contest and what's happened, some of the ideas that you think might actually be moved forward.
Sure. So the winner was STL Roots, which what they're doing is they're actually taking plots of land that are not used, they're vacant, and working on putting urban farms there. And as part of that, educating skills in terms of food production and helping to build our local economy. And there's a whole lot of other things. I don't want to speak for all of them, but they're doing great work.
Yeah. So they were the winner.
They were the winner.
And what does that mean for them to be the winner? What happens?
Well, hopefully they will continue to grow their project. They did win $1,000 as just a small token for that, and they presented in front of the Board of Alder people down at City Hall and got some support hopefully out of that. I know it raised some eyebrows for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. And this whole idea of using land that's not being utilized and creating functioning utility behind it is a great way to just start getting people out in the community, meeting each other, doing things, being active. So what else, where do you see Better Billion St. Louis going? I mean, this is a big year for St. Louis. We've got a new mayor. It's going to be a lot of change, and an exciting change. Is that exciting for Better Billion? Do you see that as an opportunity?
I think that there are people in the local government that understand how much of an asset our citizens and residents are, and there are those that do not yet fully realize that potential. For Better Billion, our focus will continue to be on finding ways to make sure that people that are in those influential positions will, make the most of all those assets in those ideas that people have. Because I'll tell you, the ideas that came out of Better Billion, they were much better than the ones I would have come up with, because I'm not hurting in our city. I'm not the person that we need to be focusing on. I'm not the place we're going to grow our economy, because I already have opportunities.
Yeah, so can you tell us some of those ideas?
Sure. I think we've heard a lot about transportation, and I think that's a very big pain point for a lot of people in the city. If you don't have a car, the bus system is not quite where it needs to be. So that, I think, is kind of one bucket we've heard. Certainly things that address like land usage, farming, and that, like I mentioned, as the current winner. I would say a lot around public safety, and I think a lot of different people have a lot of different ideas about what that means. But I would just say, when we think about solutions to these problems, we need to think about them as a community. So often we think about it from our own standpoint, and it's not that simple. Feeling safe doesn't mean more police officers for a lot of people. It means working with the community more effectively. And I can't speak well for this. I'm safe. Police officers don't target me. They target people who are not white, primarily.
Well, and do you find that the city demographics are represented within Better Billion, and the people that are out there with a voice and trying to get in front of our city elected officials? Do you feel that it's not just the white man who's in your group?
Sure. I mean, I made a point very early on to ensure that I don't think that it's ever ideal when a person like myself is leading those initiatives. It's a step to something better. But my network is very much not a primarily white network. And if I have to say it a million times, I'll say it a million times, to champion another group of people that really do have the solutions that are going to move our city forward. And that is reflected in a Better Billion. I would like it to be more reflected, as always.
And you're a city resident.
Absolutely.
And you love St. Louis.
Oh my gosh, yes. Are you kidding? We have some of the best stuff here. And the people are amazing. We have a diversity of thought is one of our biggest strengths, I think, here. And a lot of people don't understand the value in that. It's not a problem that we see conflict and different opinions. That's actually going to be something that will allow us to solve problems that will, honestly, I think, be applicable to a lot of places around the world, even.
Okay, so what's your biggest need this year for Better Billion St. Louis?
I think the biggest thing is I just want to see people feel empowered to provide their ideas. That's really it. I think that we need to hear from everybody. I'll tell you a quick story. We posted something online, and one of the people said, "Oh, they're just going to steal your idea." This is someone I didn't know. And the truth is, it's an understandable sentiment, because so often the people in influential positions do just steal and they don't actually give credit where it's due. For me, I just want to see the ideas flourish.
Exactly. Good ideas are stealable on there, and we want them to be used and to be created, right, into better things. So you can keep up with the activities of Better Billion St. Louis on Facebook at Better Billion ST Louis. So stay in touch with Nick and give him your ideas. There's more STL Live after this. Stay with us.